I just wanted to show you I'm getting ready to film for a client of mine, Arden Grange, and I just wanted to kind of show you what goes into the back of that, because I think a lot of people often see just the pretty video and photos or whatever content the creator shared, but currently it probably is like normal for everyone to do this generally, but I think if I weren't filming for a client I wouldn't do it to this extent. So I am completely tidying, rearranging the kitchen here because I'm going to be filming for them here. I've put some plants at the back there which don't ordinarily live in the kitchen, they're actually outside until winter, but I wanted to put them there for now, just to kind of elevate the content and make it look prettier. And I've moved things, so like ordinarily if I were doing a tidy up I wouldn't have moved these bits, but I've moved these bits here because they don't need to be kind of like the focal point of the content. So yeah, let's get cleaning. And there's Hazel. So I can't speak for like every creator, but I think because when I was brand side I could always see like when people had put like loads of effort into the filming and the content they'd done, and you can see that by like the tidiness of their rooms if they're filming in their house, by moving things in the garden. So like if I'm filming in the garden, I'll move, like we often have like loads of shoes, especially out the back door, or we might have like dog toys all over the lawn, or a little paddling pool out or something like that. So I like to like really just kind of like go that extra step of tidying for the content, and really just show everything off, like show the product off, because you know at the end of the day it is an advert, and whilst it is also me sharing it through like real life, I do like things to be cleaner and tidier than maybe like they ordinarily would be if I weren't filming. And it also is a really good excuse for me to get things like nice, clean and tidy. So yeah, I also tried this, by the way, because we have a real issue here with flies coming in the kitchen. This one can be chucked now. Put that in the food recycling. But it's basically lemon and clove, and you're meant to like stick, it's lime because I ran out of lemon. You're meant to stick cloves in it. Still smells like Christmassy. It doesn't work, unfortunately. I've literally been trying like everything to get rid of flies, and I think the only thing I can really suggest for that, and I've really found for that, is keeping our back door shut and keeping windows shut when it's really hot out and there's lots of flies around, and just keeping the worktops and stuff wiped down and clean and tidy in that regard. Just of like any food or tea or coffee spillages, anything like that, because they come in for all of that. And the reason I get so annoyed at having like flies buzzing all around the place because they leave marks on everything, especially in the UK. I don't know about, I honestly can't speak for other countries, but oh, it's such a pain. So yeah, has anyone got any tips on that? Because I have tried quite a few different things and nothing seems to be working. Okay, we are all tidy now, aren't we? So this is all tidy for filming. As you can see, I've moved lots of things off of here, but I'm going to be shooting from kind of this sort of angle, kind of over here. And things you kind of need to think about when you're doing that, well, I do, are how does this look? Is my calendar turned around so people can't see private information? Are things tidied over there? Yes. Only thing I've not moved is our recycling bag here. So that's now ready for filming for my reel. This is Peppa. Hello, you like sitting on the sofa there, don't you? Have you had a good day? So Peppa is a moggy, technically. She's a mixed breed. She's about 4 different types of cat. One of them's ragdoll, one of them's snowshoe, and the other one is a Bengal. And you can see she's got on her, can I see your paw? On her paws here, she's got lovely markings. And her face and her beautiful blue eyes. Hi, sweetie. She's just gorgeous. She's such a lovely cat. Everyone's always asking me what type of breed she is. And yeah, she's mixed. So we get the best of kind of all of the different types of breeds, temperament that you get. So she's very cuddly like a ragdoll. She's very playful and a little bit silly like a is it snowshoe? I'm probably saying that wrong. Snow something cat. And then the Bengal, she's a bit spicy and adventurous and very, very clever. Aren't you? Last year growing all my vegetables in this garden, or if I'm going to continue doing it next year, because we've got the field just out the back, and I'm imagining, because we're going to get a greenhouse put up there in the next sort of 4 to 8 weeks, so we're going to have raised beds and just sort of make it all hopefully ready for the harvest next year. So anyway, this could be my last time growing in this garden. I've harvested a couple of carrots, which we can have for dinner tomorrow evening. These are rainbow carrots, so I've got, you can see I've not washed them yet, but I've got pink ones, there are some white ones and yellow ones and some more kind of like orangey ones. They're really, really fun. I've grown those before, really enjoyed those. I'm now going to dig out this really massive potato crop that I've got here. I've cut all the leaves back here, they were all flopping over, and I checked one of the potatoes. I stuck my hand in and I checked, and I'm pretty sure that they are ready. So we're going to dig out some of the potatoes. This is never an easy job to start with, but it starts to get easier as it goes on. And I'm going to hopefully, I found one, find some purple potatoes, possibly the world's smallest purple potato ever. When you cut these open, they're supposed to be pink inside, so hopefully we'll get some bigger ones and we can take those in and I can start showing you some purple potatoes. Another one. Now, if you've not grown potatoes before, they are incredibly easy. You buy seed potatoes, or you can get your potatoes from your potato bin, your potato basket, wherever you store your potatoes, and sorry, that's like a proper sized potato and you can see it's really purple, and you can basically chit them, which is a weird way of saying you grow them so they've got some like little, you know, like the little nodules that you get kind of on them, and that's the root system essentially, which will then shoot out. That will become the seed potato, and that will shoot out and they will basically become more potatoes. Now you only really need 4, 5 to get a good crop. I think I used about 5 in here. I got a big bag from Burford Garden Centre and I gave those to my mum, the ones I didn't use, because in the bag there was, I want to say about 15, but I'm not sure. Here's a good example of what they look like in the ground. So they'll grow like that, they'll send out the shoot, the seed will be down here, and then you just piggle off these bits. I could have probably left these a bit longer, but I feel like they were ready. It's just been so dry, some of them have just gone, can you see like a little bit like potatoey blight on them? So I'm going to pop those to one side. I'm sure they'll be fine to eat still, but I think they've just got too hot. And these containers I use, I've had for years. I had these when we were living at our last cottage, and I did basically container gardening there because it was just so awful for growing anything in the soil, and I did not have the funds to be doing what I do now. So yeah, I basically just went to a garden centre, and I think I might have bought these in a pack, and they were quite an investment for me back then. They were about £20 I think for a pack of 4 or so, and that was when I also did the potatoes myself from my, it's how I know they work, from my potatoes growing in the potato basket that I've got inside, which I've had for years. My mum bought me that as a present, and yeah, I love growing potatoes. I think they're so fun. So I'm thinking tomorrow we might have a cheeky roast dinner and eat some potatoes that we've grown, eat some carrots that we've grown. I'm also growing courgettes over here, and I've got yellow courgette and green courgette. Now, I was making a little bit of a kind of gardening mistake when it came to my courgettes. Yeah, these are seed potatoes, these two, by the way, as you can see. But anyway, I was making a bit of a mistake with my courgettes, and I always thought some gardener somewhere told my mum and I that you always cut the male, like the stamen part off, because that stops you from getting the fruit, which is the female version of the plant which we want. And I was doing that, but I kept getting blossom blight, which is when the tip goes all kind of manky and looks awful, and you just don't want to eat them. And I went to an event at a friend's house yesterday, and there was a professional, because I'm not a professional, I don't have qualifications yet, but I'm looking into getting some. There was a professional gardener there, and she was like, I don't know who told you that, but that's wrong. So I have learnt not to do that, so I'm now not doing that. I also did some research and found that that can happen from lack of calcium in the soil, and the way to combat that is, gosh, some of these have got really bad blight, I tell you. It's very frustrating, never happened before. Anyway, the way to combat that is to crush up eggshells, pop them in water, and essentially wait for the kind of calcium stuff from the shells to get into the water, and then you just pour it all over the courgettes. And I did that yesterday. I cut back some of the darker splodges on the leaves, because some of the leaves were yellowing and they had kind of like some fungusy stuff growing on. Again, I think it's the weather that we've had. It's just been, I have never seen anything like this in my lifetime, and my mum says she thinks this is the longest that we've ever gone that she knows in her lifetime. So over 60 years of you know, not having basically a proper shower. We've just not had the weather, and England's known, or famously known, for it being quite wet, and it just hasn't. So yeah. Peppa, what do you think of our harvest? You like it? I don't think this is a terrible harvest, to be honest. It's the first one of the year. We've already done a couple of the runner beans, and we've already had some sweet peas. But yeah, I think for our first crop of potatoes and our first crop of carrots, it's not awful. We do have a lot of other things coming soon. So here are my aubergines. I am so proud of these. I've never grown them before. I did try last year, but I just planted them too late in the season. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. I've got 2, possibly, oh no, I've got 3. And then we've got some flowers. So, I mean, I'm honestly just happy with 1 because I think that's just such an achievement. Up here we've got chilies. And I didn't grow these from seed this year. I got these from our local garden centre. And then over here we've got peppers. And again, I got these from our local garden centre. They're just easier for me at the moment. I think once we've got the plot sorted out, I will try from seed. I think I actually did try and grow some peppers from seed this year, but they just didn't do anything, which is fine. But yeah, I've got stripy tomatoes here. I've been growing Alice's Dream, and I've been growing another really weird one. What's the name? I think it's this one here. I can't remember the name. They are very unusual. These ones here are going to be black, and those ones over there are going to be green and red. And there's some cucumbers there, looking slightly anemic. but they're fruiting and they seem to be doing okay. We've had a couple of fruit off of those already. I completely forgot about them, but yeah, we've had some cucumber. So yeah, that's how things are doing in my tiny little greenhouse. Now this section of garden was full of wildflowers, but they all have dried up, gone over. The poppies have started to seed, so I've cleared it, saved any seeds that I wanted, and I've started to kind of configure it ready for next year. Random dahlia popping up over there next to my David Austin climbing rose that I've just put in. I say just, I put it in 4 months ago. But anyway, today I've planted a salvia, and I bought at the garden centre 4 lavender and lots of geraniums and all sorts of other things. So there's fuchsias, what else is in there? I can't even see. There's lots of other bits in there, and all of these things were 50p. They were having a sale. I honestly couldn't believe it. So that was exciting, and I've just done up my bed ready for next year. I am aware I'm going to have to dig up the geraniums because, you know, they are not frost tolerant. These I also got. They're kind of coming to the end of their life now, but I thought I'd give them a go. And they were in a pot with this geranium here for 50p, and I mean, or £1, and you just cannot say no to that. It was like Christmas, to be honest.